Oh, looks like I've got a black eye. I had to put my coat on because I'm cold. It's weird. My buddy's like, do you have your robe on? It's not a robe, it's a coat. It's a coat. But I got lots of stuff to go over. Theories, thoughts, opinions. So I don't even really I say I don't know where to start, but obviously I'm starting at the beginning. Um, there is just so much. Let's do this. The Murdaugh'S. What could cause this family to be destroyed? Here's your warnings. The killer's fault. Maggie, Paul, Alex. And then I think this one's Buster. I'm not really sure. This is a picture of, this is where Paul was found. This was Alex's vehicle. And this is where Maggie was found. Now, I want you to keep in mind um, that this right here is a closed area. This part, at least, this part right here, closed area. And it's got like the tin over it there. And then I'm assuming this is the same. Okay, we want to start with Stephen Smith. He was killed by hit and run. Some people's opinion or theory is that Buster had something to do with it. There's a lot of calls that place him there, and we're going to go over that. Let me get my paperwork. Because, oh, there is theories. Okay, on one of them, when the cop was talking to someone, one of the theories was his boyfriend. This guy was a lot older and looked rough. And then I guess he was cleared. And Stephen was actually starting to put ads on Craigslist um, as an escort. And then the biggest theory is that Buster had something to do with it because maybe they had a possible relationship. I don't know. But Jessica Smith said that Brianna and Ben was told by Michael, follow me here, was told by Michael that Buster did it. Michael was told by Victoria, Chandler, and Kobe told Chandler, which is Buster's best friend, that Buster had told him that. So there we have it. Regardless of the situation, this young man is dead. He was hit or beat and he was in the middle of the road. His car was found 3 miles away on another road. Um, the case has been opened a couple of times and still not really settled. Okay, now we're going to move on to the boating accident. I'm telling you, I have these papers. I have all these papers. I have this book. That's why it took me so long to get here. Well, I've been here. I'm just getting here. So, okay, now we're going to go into Mallory Beach. That's the next incident. Okay, on 24 of 2019, um, Alex Murdaugh'S younger son, Paul, who was 19, drunkenly crashed a family boat into a bridge. Witness said, throwing several of his passengers into the water. The body of one passenger, Mallory Beach, 19, was found a week later. Miss Beach's parents would later sue Alex Murdaugh, bringing pressure on him to reveal details of his finances. Okay, they crashed into the Archer Creek's bridge. Just to give you a little idea here, there was countless pictures of him drinking, and his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend said that she's got just videos on top of videos of him drinking, and this is Alex. But this is where everybody was. There's still debate on if it was Connor or Paul that was driving, and this is Mallory sitting on I think his name's Anthony, her boyfriend's lap, and this is the boat. You can see. I don't know if this is like what this is from. I really don't. Oh my god, this ain't working. It's probably too damn many of them. But if you could see, oh my god, imaging found. It's showing there's video of them walking back to the boat after they stopped at I think it was Luther's bar, and Paul and Connor went in and drank shots. At the time, Paul was using somebody's ID. I think it was Buster's. Um, they stopped to begin with at Parker's gas station, and he used the ID and he bought three different kinds of beer. And at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, it was a 1 hour boat ride to the party. At 8 o'clock, they arrived. They spent 4 hours there, 1 hour back, and then they went to Luther's bar at 1:16. The boat leaves downtown Buford. At 2:13, boat enters Archer's Creek and hits bridge. Okay, it is stated that he sped up. The driver sped up when they got close to the bridge for some reason, or when they entered Archer's Creek. Um, DNR responded. They wanted to know who was driving the boat. And the first person that Paul called was his granddad. Put this up here. This is where they found Stephen, by the way. Sorry. I thought I had them all in order. But this is Mallory. This is Stephen. And this is Gloria. We will be going to Gloria now. This is another one of their tragedies. Gloria Statterfield was their housekeeper for many years. She pretty much raised the boys. She's 57. She worked as a housekeeper and nanny for the Murdaugh family for a quarter of a century. Died about 2 weeks after she was reported to have fallen on the front steps of the family's hunting property. That's in Moselle. And then, of course, there was a big to-do because Alex told the boys, don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything. You sue my insurance company, we'll handle it all. And this is what happened. This is Gloria's son, Tony. Tony was supposed to only deal with this guy here, which is how it started. And then he would deal with the insurance company. They could either accept it or reject it. And if they accepted it, then he would give the money back. It would be put here and he could access it. If they rejected it, then they go to court and so on. Okay, after a few months, this he was the personal representative. Then they added this guy for some reason. So now it's Chad Westroff, Corey Fleming. Oh, this name comes up so many times. The insurance company and Forges Consulting. Now, no, Forges Consulting LLC is an actual insurance company. Now, Forge is Alex's account. So once they received the $4.3 million, 2.765 million went to Alex at Forge. The State Law Enforcement Division SLED announced that the body of Gloria Satterfield will be exhumed as part of an ongoing investigation into Satterfield on how she died. That's in Islandton. I don't know. I've never heard that. Not from North Carolina. After Murdaugh family members claim she fell on their property, and I say that because South Carolina, I've been there many times. Okay. And then we're going to move on. I'm going to run through some of the trial stuff. Because the two that really impressed me was the pathologist and the gun guy today. And the forensic. He's a friend. He's like a lot. He's a lot. Okay, June 7th, Margaret, Maggie, and Paul Murdaugh are found dead. Near Carolina. I don't know what the hell all that means. They suffered multiple gunshots. They're discovered by Alex. Okay, we're going to watch a couple little videos real quick. This one we can listen to. I gotta make sure my eyebrows they look off. Meow, meow. Meow, meow. Mm-hmm. Okay, I got a lot of stuff, so give me a second. Let me see. I think I got the same video twice. Okay, here we go. We got it, people. We got it.
Quiet that shot badly. 47 Moselle Road. I've been up to it now. It's bad.
Okay.
It's bad.
Okay, and are they breathing?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and you said it's your wife and your son?
My wife and my son.
Do you see anyone in the area?
This is what I wanted to show you. This is the back of it. Over here is where Paul was found, and Maggie was right in here. There's an ATV that was sitting there that night, and it was raining and stuff, but these doors open, and this is completely covered. But inside here, there's like a little wooden opening that you can walk in and out of. I mean, there may be a door there that closes. I didn't see it, but this right here on this very end is the feed room.
Ma'am? Oh, ma'am.
What color's your house on the outside?
Oh,
What color?
I want you to listen to this. You're going to hear he is in his vehicle. I seen this on the mob crew. Shout out to the mob crew. Go sub up to him, show him some love. Um, but I never paid attention to this.
Are they in a vehicle?
No, ma'am. They're on the ground out at my kennel.
Okay, and did you...
Me okay? Okay.
Conner County Communications.
Carlton, I have an Alex Murdaugh on the line. Carlton,
Sir?
you said 4147 Moselle Road in Allen.
Listen for the echo. The echo was from his own star and his phone being so close together.
Carlton,
4147 Moselle Road.
stay on the line with me, okay? Yes, sir. Stay on the line with
Because at one point I thought that maybe he had it on speakerphone. And I mean, I kind of get speakerphone, you know. And I want to go ahead and say, whenever he's talking to the cops, he can't remember his kid's birthday. I mean, come on. We've all forgotten here and there, especially when you get older. You know, you forget the birthday. I'm not going to present that as any type of evidence at all. That means nothing to me. I do good to remember my birthday.
me, okay? Okay.
Conner County Communications.
Carlton, I have an Alex Murdaugh on the line, caller from 4147 Moselle Road. He's advising that his wife and child was shot.
Okay, and sir, give me the address again.
It's 4147 Moselle Road. I've been up to it now. It's bad.
Okay. Okay, and are they breathing?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and you said it's your wife and your son?
My wife and my son.
Are they in a vehicle?
No, ma'am. They're on the ground out at my kennel.
At some point, you can hear the dogs start barking. And I don't think that they just started barking. I think that they have been barking. We've listened to that a couple times. So let's go look at some body cam video. I don't really want to go through the video. I do want you to take notes of this right here. Personally, I don't see nothing wrong with it, but apparently there was an issue with it. Okay. This is Buster where he was found. Notice that the door goes inward. It opens inward. I think this cop testified today. I don't know who all testified. It's all running together. But this right here is 10 foot deep. This building is 10 foot long. And Buster started out standing a little over 5 feet in this room. We'll get more into that in a little bit. But this is some pictures where the pellets hit there's the hose again put up all neatly because the guy testified about that. But this is what the forensic guy was talking about today. This is where the first or the second shot would have come from. And there's two casings behind this door. and he was talking about it was an inch and a half, about an inch and a half up on this door is where the person was when the first shot, and the barrel was just barely in there. And you can see there's a void where matter bounced off the door to the floor. And then he put up some legs to show that once he got shot the first time in the chest and it went through his arm, that the blood was dripping down his arm. And you can see he's slowly making it out the door, but he doesn't. And I could not, to save my life, I knew it was important, but I had, and I'm still not completely sure, but I had no idea what I was looking at. And I still don't. I really don't. This is Maggie's shoes. This is it not presenting it? Holy shit. I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, Freedom. Sharing what? Shit. Which one was it? Okay, the Murdaugh thing. It was put all over the media today. It was in the courtroom. Yeah. It's showing. You can't tell neither. You know, it's not. What word am I looking for? Um, Too recognizable. But this is Maggie's shoes. You see how flat they are and kind of worn out. We've all had those good shoes we didn't want to get rid of. But there's a set of footprints that are going up this way and one coming down this way. I'm gonna. I don't know if you can see me or not. Okay, and this, I know it sucks, but the area that the shoes are right through here somewhere. And there was an ATV sitting down there that night. This is not a good representation, or either I'm not. I think that it's not considering the ATV sitting there, and that ATV I don't think sits there a lot. Um, because there's pictures of it where it's not sitting there. But I was like, what if she came out, and I'll show you the door in a minute. Um, the door, because they shoot all the time. Like there's hogs on their property. The dog had some kind of pigeon or dove or some bullshit the other day in its mouth, and we'll listen to that. But they shoot all the time, and I was like, okay, well, what if Maggie was in that building that's covered, that it's got the four sides or three sides to it. Well, technically four if you close the doors. But and she heard the gunshot. But when you're around guns a lot, that doesn't, unless you're being shot at, it doesn't register as, hey, this is a problem. She might have thought that Paul or Alex was, shooting something. And then when the second one went off, that might have caught her attention. So she comes out, and the door would have led her down. And then she sees that Paul's dead. And then she goes back up trying to get away from the person, because with the especially 300 blackout, an AR is going to kick the casings out far. Because a lot of people thinking that she started getting, and she might have got started getting shot over here. I don't think she was over here at any point. I do not think that Maggie was on this side of the building. I think the closest she got was in this sand. I think that's why if you look, there's two footprints right there where she has stopped side by side. And theories, alleged, don't sue me. And this is just showing the building. This right here is the other side of the building. See how it's open? This is the cops. This is the cops whenever he tried to unalive himself. This is where Maggie was. There's actually a bullet that went through there. This is the where they were found. This is their house, and now where they were found is like way over in here. I've got a better thing of it here in a little bit. Evidence. I think this was from Buster to Rogan about the dog. Okay, here we go. This is the picture that I have that I keep showing y'all. I just don't like that it ain't bigger and that it's difficult to tell. See how it's showing that she was shot over here? I don't know. I don't know if her wrist was right here, and I don't know if y'all could see that. If her wrist was right here, and when she got shot in the abdomen, it went through her wrist into that, through her liver and all that stuff. Or if she was running and they shot, and say this is her leg, and this would be her thigh, that her arm had evened up with that, and it shot through the wrist, through the arm, into the thigh, out of the thigh. Another picture of the door. You can see the stippling, or not the stippling, but the bullet holes. The bigger I tried to make this is phone calls, the worse it was. Okay, I don't even know where all of this is, but I have got so much on this phone. This is Maggie's phone. Her phone was found a mile away. After she was unalived, her phone goes from this position to this position at the same time Alex was calling her. And it tried to do facial recognition, where it recognizes your face. And at this time, she's, not with the good world. I tried to piece this together to give you an idea of this is the house. You'd have to go all the way down this road, and this is that road that leads there. That's a lot. Because at one point he said, I saw them. And I'm like, there's no freaking way in hell he saw them. And then I thought, okay, well, what if he's talking about whenever he got there, he saw them, But now we're going to look at bullet trajectory. What is wrong with me in talking? Trajectory. The way the bullet went. Now I don't want to move on until I say that word. Trajectories. Trajectories. Christ. Um. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. I think I heard. I know trajectory. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what's going. My hair is falling out literally by the handfuls. Like I am so stressed that it's just bad, and I think that's affecting my speech. But I got it is strange as can be. I'm telling you right now, it's like now people are trying to bring Buster into it, and it's like I don't know if he. I thought about that too because I mean this is a large amount of hair, and I was like, oh shit, you know. Um, but people were trying to say that maybe Buster had something to do with it, you know. And I don't know. I don't. I got this. Let me show you this. Stop sharing. We'll go back to that. I don't know what he was doing. Dun, 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 dun. It's so hard to go find. Maybe not. No, that's not what I want to share. I'll get to it in a minute. But he's making a weird gesture towards one of the witnesses. And I don't know. I'm like, I just don't want to think that they're all bad, is what it is. I've got these notes that I didn't try to organize. So I want to make sure I get everything in. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. I'll make sure I've covered all the other cases. Timelines, all that good stuff. Okay, let's see what we got here. I just want to show a little bit of this because he just acts so damn odd. Oh, here it is. Now it pops up. See, it looks like Buster's giving a finger. Now, if this is the same day I'm thinking about, um, he was chewing his nails because I thought he was digging in his nose at first. I was like, holy crap. Okay, let's go back to. Honestly, um, it's an open case. It's going on right now in court. Um, by the law, if I was a juror, I mean, they're seeing stuff I'm not seeing, but from what I do see by law, to me, there's not a reasonable doubt. I mean, we know he did it, or had something to do with it. There's just too much crazy around him. But by law, I don't think that he will be found guilty. I really don't. Okay, let's look at the bodies. Um, Maggie was shot. They assumed that maybe this was the first shot. It went in left, um, in her abdomen, and just off center to the left, and it came out of her back. Now she was shot at the 300 blackout. That's AR. And then she had a wound from her outside wrist inside then the thigh. This is what I was talking about. Maybe, if she's running, that leg's going to come up. Maybe that would have been one, not one wound, but one shot. But when this one right here, they said that it would have hit her liver and stuff, and this would have made her bend over. Um, a lot of people say it would have made her go into the praying position, and that's whenever they shot her from here, and it went under the skin. It went into the underside of her breast, it came out the top of her breast, then it come out of her shoulder right here and went into her head. This was a fatal shot. And then while she was laying on the ground, because they think that she was in the praying position, but maybe had her arm, kind of holding her up. And when this shot went, she hit the ground flat. Then you turn her around, say this is the back of her. They shot from the top of her head, and it went down to the brain stem and went into her shoulder and down through her body. And with Paul, his first shot was, do you see how low this is? Um, he was shot between, this seems a little inaccurate because it said he was shot between his left nipple and it kind of, because it was going more this way. Um, but he was shot between the nipple and the sternum, and all of the pellets just went under the skin. None of them actually pierced organs, and it came out under his armpit, went through this one out of this arm, and the wadding was still up under his skin, right here under his arm. And that's where you're going to see the blood dropping on the floor, because it was running down his arm, because it would have took a minute for the shirt to get soaked. And then, he could have been leaning, like favoring that side, because obviously he got shot. And so the second shot came through right here, went along the collarbone, up through this part of his face and neck, and took the back of his head off. It came out right here. And his brain came out, hit the door twice, and hit the ground. Now, this right here, this picture is the first picture I looked at that I was like, something ain't right. And the gun guy said that this person was low to the ground. Too low to be okay. But two cases, if he hit a bitch and a half and on this ground in the prone position, and shot, that casing would have rolled right under the door. And I was like, why is there no blood anywhere? But if you I took my pencil and I marked it from here to here, you see blood right there. You see there is actually blood. It was just the door that was uh, keeping it, you know. Um, Maggie's in this area. Here's the ATV. This is the doghouse. This is the inside of the building I was telling you about. I'm gonna call it a shed. Um, Paul would have been over here. This is Paul's shoes, and you can see he still had on the same shoes. And this was them examining his body. His phone was found on top of his back pocket. And this is where Maggie was. They show a picture here, and I don't know if a bullet went into this or not, but they're saying something about a projectile back here. But this one, or one exactly with the same tread, had mud on it, so that's telling me that it rained that night, and so somebody drove it and got mud on the tires. That imprint was on the back of her leg, but when she got to the pathologist, it's probably dried and fell off because the pathologist didn't see it. So, okay, you want to give some shout outs to Steve at the Crime Web. Go hit him up, sub him up. Eric Allen, sub him up. The Mob Crew, Chris, sub him up. And then, my favorite, Nora's Jasmine. She is awesome. She's into conspiracies and stuff and got a little tinfoil hat. She was cute. Anyway, oh my God, this is longer than what I thought. This is Alex alibi, and then what most likely happened. Okay, I don't like most likely. I like facts. He said that they eat. Okay, let me start with this. Sorry. I'll check comments in just a second. I do want to say that whenever Paul had the boating accident, his blood alcohol level was 0.28. Let me go here and see if anybody's. Hey, Chris. How are you doing? Maggie was shot with 5 AR rounds, went through her kidney, and it probably would have made her bend over. And that's whenever she either bent over or she went down into the praying position. Either way, that's when the one that went through her breast and then out into her head. Thank God. I mean, I'm good. Um, I'll have to go check that out. I know that I hate saying it this way, but thank God that that was one of the fatal shots, ladies. Can you imagine being shot in the chest in that area? Um, that's what I was thinking, Freedom. I was thinking this is somebody that she was moving around a lot and he couldn't get a good shot on her because there was 2 different guns used. Paul was shot with buckshot and birdshot. And there's a picture, I think I got it on here, where they have in that shed a box of shotgun shells. There's all kinds of different ones. They found boxes that had no shells in them in the trash. Um, but it looks to me like somebody just grabbed some shotgun shells and put them in there. When the cops arrived at the scene, he had a shotgun. That's actually the shotgun that they have in court, but they can't. I know they can't prove whether it is the murder weapon or it is not. So it's like useless. We're gonna get to the logistics of their autopsy and stuff here in a minute. I want to give you a little background real quick. I should have done this. I'm just got so much information on Alec. He's a lawyer. He was got for financial cheating. He was made to resign. In an interview after his wife and son's passing, he said that the operator, she was very good. Like, I don't know if y'all have watched any of his interviews with cops, but he is an idiot. I don't know how this man became a lawyer. He's an idiot. His emotion comes and goes. He gives details in chronological order. He hired his cousin Eddie to unalive him. He went to rehab, saw Maggie and Paul before he left, rode around with Paul for 2 hours that day, which that time changes along with a lot of other times. Stated nobody was home whenever he arrived back from seeing his mother. His mother has Alzheimer's, so he went to see her, and the caregiver said it's very odd that he come over that late at night. And he asked the caregiver to say he was there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and he was there for like 20 minutes. Oh yeah, daddy's money. And I don't know. I cannot stand arrogant rich people. It irks me really bad. I think that's because I grew up poor. I'll never be rich because I try to help people, and I would build homeless shelters. And the cops had a tank attorney, which is a neutral attorney, go through his phone because he had clients on his phone. There was blood on the Suburban. That's Alex's vehicle steering wheel, and it was Maggie's blood. That's He admitted to touching them and touching um, Paul's phone. The thing is he didn't know Paul's passcode. He knew Maggie's. He changed clothes, the actions that he had the shotgun with him. Um, he had drug issues. Dun, dun, dun. Wanting people to lie about his whereabouts and times. And I don't know why. I don't know if he turned it on or what. But if he pulled up in his vehicle and he saw his son and wife there, I would not have went to the shed and turned the light on. And the light was on when the cops arrived. That is just constantly in my head, and I can't get it out. Okay, 8:44. Paul, nobody knew about it, made a Snapchat video that he was sending to Rogan about the dog's tail. And now 8:44, they were supposedly unalived around 8:50. I think it was. We'll go through that in a minute. But or 8:48, anywhere from 8:48 to 8:50, I think. And this was made at 8:44, and you can hear Alex, Maggie, and obviously Paul in the video. He asked a caretaker of his mother to lie and offered to pay for her wedding. At 9:22, his Suburban, because the GM guy came in and got the data box out of it. If you don't know, your newer cars have data boxes. Even the old ones have it. It's just harder to find. Was in park at 9:43. It was out of park. Um, he asked Maggie and Paul to come back to the house for that day, like to come back there and stay, because I don't think she was staying there. She did go see a divorce lawyer. Um, I've not found anything that says that it went any farther than that. Oh yeah, yeah. And plus, he's a witness in Paul's boat accident. It's oh God, it was just so much. My whole thing that just blows my mind is like, how do you trust somebody to, like try to unalive you or make it look like that? There is no way. My husband is a good shot, and there is no way I'm letting somebody point a gun at me and try to make it look like an unaliving or something. I'm like, oh my God, what's going through these people's mind? Oh yeah, Oxycontin. Did you see what I did there? Okay. Let me go back to the housekeeper because Maggie went to a doctor's appointment that day and she was running real late. I don't think she wanted. Yeah, it is a small town. Most towns in North and South Carolina are small towns unless it's like the big ones. Now, Charleston though, that's a bigger place. Wilmington, somewhat, it's kind of beachy. It's where all the beach people go. I know we used to go like to Florida and South Carolina, Georgia, all those places around the 4th of July for vacation, and we just stayed on like the beaches though. But it's kind of like just the capital is a bigger place. Yeah, that's what blew my mind. All these poor people, and then the only nice building in town is the law office, and it looks like a mini mansion. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, you go to school for all these years and then you start scamming people. Why? But the housekeeper that worked there, I think her name was Miss Simpson. I don't know. I can't keep up with all these damn names. But she worked at the Moselle and Hampton houses. Um, and Maggie called her and wanted to know if she would cook dinner because she might not be back in time. And Maggie, the housekeeper, would leave the pots on the stove. And I don't think I ever heard of Alec until this, you know, case. And that's something too. Um, I would say his name, Alex Murdaugh. But if y'all ever watch King of the Hill where he goes, it's Tiburon. The guy's trying to impress Luann. That's what it reminds me of. He's Alex whenever he's dealing with clients, but when he's around rich people, he's Alec. That's what I feel like. I feel like depending who he's around is how he pronounces his name. I love Myrtle Beach. Love it. But the housekeeper would leave the food on the stove, and she said that Maggie would never put the food in the refrigerator or put the pots and pans in the sink. And when she come back the next day, that the pots and pans were in the refrigerator with lids on them. Um, Said Maggie's night clothes were folded up in the doorway with her underwear, and that Maggie didn't wear underwear. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, it's just don't get in trouble. Um, but there's like from I ain't gonna say Virginia and West Virginia because we kind of make jokes about that. But sorry, y'all, Virginia and West Virginia people. The hills have eyes. Um, but from Tennessee down to um, Georgia and South Carolina, North Carolina, there is some really pretty stuff goes on. Um, that would be my favorite states to be. But Maggie didn't wear underwear or bra, so it was odd that there was a pair of underwear there. Freedom. Oh my god. Uh, every time I hear somebody say that, I look at the hills have eyes. But don't worry, we got the hills have eyes in North Carolina too. Oh Lord. And she stated that Maggie had found out how bad Alex's pill problem was, and that Alex wanted her to come and um, clean up the house after the murders. And she said that when she come in that night, because I think he called her. I did for a while too, because everybody is usually from the UK. Um, but she said around the bathtub there was a little puddle of water, a towel, and a pair of khaki pants. And she said that in a closet there was a wet or a damp white towel, and a t-shirt had fallen. Um, and then the kennel guy, I was just talking about the water hose. I'm gonna list some behavioral things I noticed. What he said. I mean, there's so many. I'm not even going to try to cover that one right now. He had fear. He shouldn't have had fear. It shouldn't have been fear. It was more of he was afraid of getting caught or something. And he kept his elbows close to him. He's protecting his vital organs. He kept protecting his genitals. When women and men will put their hands in front of them, it's just human nature, like you're protecting your organs. And he kept making narratives. He made two narratives as soon as the cop come up. This is why the scene's like this. It's a long story. Actually, he made three, but his blink rate increased, a lack of emotion. He explained a lot. Breathing, it increased. His voice, grief was missing. And then the analyst for like the GRB and all that stuff was the raincoat and shirt. I'm not really sure what. I'm sorry, she was born as shit. Okay. Now we're going to get into some trigger stuff. Trigger. Your warning has been announced. See, I keep trying to figure out where he was. Paul. I do have the death certificate of Paul. If y'all are interested in seeing it, I have where it shows there's active warrant for Alex for murder. And then the incident report where he tried to unalive himself. And then the report about who tried to unalive him. I want to show you this. We're about halfway there, people. Oh, let me go back to my little. A shout out to the mob crew. Monsters under our bed. He is heard on camera at 45. They read their last message. Shooting happens. He leaves there. All this good shit. It's nothing but lies. Somebody, and I was getting ready to go live, and I hate that I don't know who it was, so I'll try to go back and find it. But they calculated Paul's steps and Alex's steps. And after the murder, Alex's steps, look, at 9 o'clock, he wasn't supposed to be there. His steps got 3 times faster, so I don't know. And 906, they got those seconds. Now that makes me want to rethink stuff because they always put seconds in there. So Maggie's phone changes orientation. Again, that's what I was saying, where it's like this, and somebody done like this, and that was the time that Alex called her. So he could have had it in his hand, like this, and then held it up, make sure it was calling. Um, I don't know why that repeated itself. So the feed house is 10 feet. Paul was standing a little bit over 5 feet in it. Blood droplets were 90 degrees. That means they were going straight down. So at first he didn't move. Again, we got another picture of the water hose. Because apparently this is something very important. I don't know. Again, the water hose. Again, the water hose. And now, when this clears up, I want you to look at this. I hope it clears up. I really need this to clear up. This water hose is neat. There's another water hose that is just the road on there. And now this is down there. This is the shed. This is where the ATV was sitting at night. And the footprints, I believe, were here or here. I don't know which side. The doghouse had a bullet hole through it. This is where Maggie was found. Paul was over here. And you see the ATV is never there. Okay, there's this opening right here that I was saying maybe Maggie came out of when she heard that other shot. We're going to go over some timelines of Paul's phone usage and what was going on here in just a second. Let's listen to a little bit of this, which is kind of useless because it's all bullshit.
This is Alex Murdaugh at 4147 Moselle Road. I need the police to answer immediately. My white man child shot badly.
That was Alec Murdaugh on June 7th, 2021.
I thought that was the one where he was shot in the head. Oh well. It was all a lie anyway, so it's not like it even mattered. I hate saying that, but okay, I'm going to try my best. Believe it or not, I got like a shitload of lights everywhere. Okay, this is what I'm going to show you. You can go back and stop it and look for yourself. But we're going to go over this. Starting with Maggie. Maggie Murdaugh, her phone timeline. She arrives at home around 8:15. Maggie's phone is unplugged. 38 steps recorded. 40 steps recorded. Read on Maggie's phone, so she read a message. A text from John Marvin to group. I plan to visit. 8:31 receives text, does not read until later. 8:49 display on, could be notification or someone picking up the phone. Device unlocked. And that was at 8:49. 8:49 device unlocks into the next day at 1:10. At 8:49, 27 seconds, 2 messages in the group chat on Maggie's phone. And they think that she was killed at 8:50. At 8:53. 8:53. 3 minutes after she's unalived. The display's on. 59 steps are counted on her phone. The end time for orientation change portrait, that's the movement of the phone. Change to portrait phone is picked up. Camera activates for 1 second. Appears phone is attempting to be unlocked with Face ID. Not successful. The landscape changes again. The portrait. They keep messing with that phone. And then at 9:06, it was a missed call. At 9:07, her phone's display went off and on. Another missed call at 9:45 from Alex. And at 10:03, another missed call. But yet all this stuff's going on with her phone. It's moving around, doing all this stuff. And she is no longer on this earth. And now Paul, he had the GPS coordinates. He had 50 steps recorded, 171 steps recorded, 139, 208, 89, 140. So he was moving around. And now the last steps that's recorded before it goes into something else is 8:15. He text message Megan, and then he read a text. I guess she texted him back. Then I'm trying to get down to where it's actually something. Last steps recorded on Paul's phone was at 8:42. At 8:44, FaceTime with Rogan ends because they had bad connection, and ongoing FaceTime with Rogan. Camera turns on location near roof building on Moselle Road, red roof building on Moselle Road. Camera turns on for 50 seconds, recording a video of the Labrador's tail. And then Megan texts by at 8:48 he read text. At 8:49 he stopped reading text. So that kind of gives you an idea. And we are going to watch that video. And I want you to tell me who you hear in the background. Don't say fan. This is the actual transcripty type thing.
Get back. Get back. Quit, Cash. Quit. It's okay. Come here. Come on, Dad. Come here, Cash. Cash.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth.
Maggie, Alex,
Bubba.
It's a kitty.
There's a chicken. Come here, Cash. Cash. Quit.
so that's the video at 8:50. 8:44. So if this was at 8:44, Alex is supposed to be over at his mom's. So why are we hearing him in this video? Now, this is a video that Paul made and sent to Rogan to show him that there was something on that dog's tail. I think that's Rogan's dog. So it's hard to explain. That dog was pretty. Okay, so now we're gonna go back here in a minute. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay, the autopsy for Maggie, the stomach contents. Both of them had full stomach with gray tan food. Maggie had 600 milliliters, which is over a pound. I think like 450 is a pound. And there was no defense wounds. Both had caffeine in their system, no drugs, unknown DNA under Maggie's nails, but she had her nails done that day, and it was like one allegial or some shit. And even if it was 3, it could have been just simple contact. Not enough, whatever the word is, to make a complete decision. Maggie's wrist, thigh, left mid-region, torn mid-region through upward direction of breast and into head in a downward motion. The one that went through the top of her head, was a downward motion. So to do that, they had to get lower. There was no soot, just stippling. Paul's contents was both the same. Ironically, the maid said that she had made cube steak with gravy, and both of them had this gray tan food substance. So I'm wondering if they really did eat. Maybe that was the truth. Paul had 500 milliliters, which is over a pound. There was no defense wounds. Both had caffeine, no drugs. Buckshot to the chest. There's buckshot used and bird shots, 2 different. He was standing at an angle. I would say everybody's putting him in I think, maybe it's just the pictures are reversed. But if you were looking in the door at Paul, I think that he was standing like this, and then I think he heard something and he turned. No, it would have been this way. And I think he heard something and he turned. And when he did, that's when he got shot right there. And it went out. But it's on the other side, though. I cannot figure this out. Something is not adding up. I don't know what. But he was standing at an angle with his left side facing the door. Entrance wound was between the left nipple and the sternum, right to left. Left arm wounds, left under the skin and chest side. It exited through the left underarm. Entrance, top left shoulder, through the neck and the cheek, and exploded the head. It came out the top of the right side of the head. No fractures to the teeth. That's usually one thing you've seen. There was a question of the gas cloud, but that would have had to been fairly close. There is actually, what do you call it? That wave shit, like not recoil, but I don't know. But it's the after wave. I don't want to say aftershock, but it's that wave that comes that you can't see that fucks you up. And And then again, Maggie was hit with 5 AR rounds. Bend over. Entrance, one right through the rib cage on the left side from front to back, traveled in a downward direction. Exit left side of the back. Entrance, the thigh from the front to the back, followed a parallel pattern, downward direction, right to left. Exited through the back and left side of the thigh. Entrance, front, inside, upward direction, traveled under the skin, entered from the bottom of the breast, and went to the top, out the shoulder, in the row, and it even scraped under the breast, and left to the top, into her head. Entrance, the red outside, and then the exit was on the inside. Back of the head and the brain stem near base of the skull, going in a downward direction, and it did not exit. Okay. Are we having fun yet? This is going into the attempted unaliving, which honestly I don't even want to cover. I just got to because it's part of the story. These two geniuses thought that, I don't know. I actually got pictures of Alex and the ambulance too. I got those today. I forgot to add them. But this was his car. They found a knife across the road where he cut his own tire. And then they've got video footage of this guy going down, then Alex, and then this guy coming back. And so this is him being arrested. This is Buster going into court. Let me see. Let's look at this. Because it's hard to show you what the forensic guy said. The forensic guy, apparently there was an issue of possible drug where they're moving drugs. I don't know what this is. Um, but where they were moving drugs. Um, there's also story of oh my god, all kinds of crap, like so many different theories. Oh, gambling, because gambling was going on. Football bets. He made football bets in jail, which don't really mean shit, you know. But it's, you know, throwing it out there as something. Was there a gambling issue? You know, was that some of it? He did. I heard him say in his confession about the unaliving attempt that he would spend up to $50,000 a week on pills. $50,000. I can't even fathom that. Okay. I don't know what that is. Oh, I love her. Why am I not? Why am I not? Give me a second. Something happened and I ain't signed in. Okay, I'm gonna share this so that you see her and see her name. Go sub up to her. Okay. Okay, I don't know what's going on here.
The whole thing started when Paul Murdaugh, son of Alex Murdaugh, a very prominent attorney
This is
in
her
the
name.
area,
Go sub up to her.
basically was drunk and was driving a boat.
This is the video I was telling y'all about. This is Paul. But go sub up to her. She is awesome. Do we want to show you this? So the cops are going through the trash. Trash duty. Do. I said duty. On pills. Like, oh my God, you couldn't have built a damn orphanage or something? What's wrong with you people? Ah, shit. Bedtime Crimes 2, go check that out. I'm going to try to do this quick because he's annoying with that sound. There's the casings. Not the casings, but the box. They find two other boxes that are different shots than this one. And so they use it for evidence. Okay. I can't imagine, like, how do you not die? How many damn pills? Like, what is this talk? And then he went to rehab for how long? And he's all better now? You know? Oh, come on. Give it a rest. I'm going to watch just a little bit of what's his actions. He said, I want you to know because of the scene. Who says it? I would be losing my motherfucking shit. I would be over there with my son, holding him in the condition he was in, probably rocking or doing something or just, crying, something. And this motherfucker's talking about the scene. The scene. I won't tell you because of the condition of the scene. I went and got a shotgun. I'm like, you piece of shit.
I did go get a gun and bring it down here.
It's in your vehicle? Do you have any guns on you at all?
No, sir. It's leaning up.
Okay. How did you pull up? You from back there?
I went to the house.
See,
and
he
they
keeps
weren't
getting
home.
closer to that gun, so does the cop.
Okay.
And
The cop's going to take
I
it in
knew
a
they had
minute
been
and put
down
it
here
up.
before
The only one?
I'm 99%. That's my brother.
Okay.
He called his brother.
When was the last time you were here with them? Or talked to them or anything like that?
See, he's killing time.
It was earlier tonight. Around with Paul for 2 hours this afternoon in the pickup truck.
That's your son?
Who says that?
Okay.
Somebody going to check them?
Yes, sir. They've already checked them.
They did check them?
Yes, sir.
It's official that they're dead?
Yes, sir. That's what
It's official that they're dead.
it looks like.
She called her parents.
If you want to watch this, I mean, you can just pull up the crime scene and you can watch it. I'm telling you, it'll probably make you mad. It'll probably make you mad. Um, Let me turn off this little light. But this is the majority of everything that I have. Has anybody got any questions, comments, concerns? I do have a copy of a check where he wrote it to Palmetto Bank account. Oh, Maggie had 4 bank accounts, only one was hers, and she had almost $58 in it. Think about that. She found out that she went to write checks for charities and they were bouncing. I mean, there's so much more. I'll probably do another follow-up video to this because that way I can get some more information back in that I forgot or just didn't cover. Um, but I'm going to start keeping an eye on this one as well until it's done. I'm looking at the Idaho for murder stuff too. I'm not really interested in it right now. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Um, but I'm looking into the Summer Wells case and then, of course, little videos in between. But this is what I have on the Mark case. So we're going to get into some conspiracies too. So get ready, get set. But I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. Thank you all for joining me, Chris, Freedom. I appreciate it. And I will upload another video. I might do one tonight just to say thank y'all for watching some sort of craziness. But thank y'all again. And I appreciate y'all being here. I'll see you later. Bye.